present the part of introduction. Water is an essential natural resource for human beings or living creatures and healthy surroundings. The truth is, according to the non-government organizations, every year more than 840,000 people die from water-related disease, and 750 million people do not enter to water that is clean. A safe water in one in which the quality of the water helps a rich and complex organism culture and protects public health. In this world, the fresh water is just 3% of the Earth's water, and the remaining 97% of the water consists of salt water. Fresh water, however, may be declining due to the high demand. The state of Selangor is Malaysia's most advanced state and as such has the largest population that directly exerts heavy pressure on the wastewater system to deal with ever-increasing demands. As in the case of Malaysia, surface water sources such as river basins are used to acquire water supply for this state. In, in Selangor, there are four majority river basins, namely the Bernam, the Selangor, the Klang, and the Langat river basins. All over the major river basins in Selangor are used for the domestic and industrial. Basically, there is no river basin that can be used to provide water for the purpose of surface water extraction sources, except for the Bernama River Basin, which mainly supplies water for agricultural purpose.
So I'm going to present the part of analysis and consequences that will come out from our research on some journals and articles. So first is rapid development along the riverside. As we can see, there are houses, building, workshop, and industrial factories that built along the riverside that lead to the unmanaged waste disposal, because due to some factories or industry that reluctant to do a huge investment for treat their waste properly. That is inefficient operation and maintenance. Inefficient operation and maintenance may due to some company of water supplies that use old and worn out pipes that lead to another problem, which is leakage, and give problems for the consumer and the customer as they pay the bills for the water. So there are some consequences that come out from the reason that's mentioned before. So first is consumer daily activities get affected. This is due to the water supply have to cut off along the period for water treatment. So when the water or the river get polluted, so the authorities really have to cut off this water supplies and treat the water as soon as possible, because it might be harmful for the human to consume. Second is harmful to the aquatic life. So most of the waste from the factories or the houses are hazardous. So this is very harmful for the fish or plants or other livings that settle around the river or in the river. Third is a wasting valuable natural resource and economic loss. As we know that water is a very valuable natural resource. A large amount of water is lost during the flow that flowing from the treatment plants into the consumer. So so this is a very important uh, consequence that we highlight. So there are some ethics breach that related to the cases. First is how paramount of safety, health, and the welfare of the public. So it's very important for engineers to be more concerned around the factories and the industry that they are in charge. So engineers are not in a position to approve or seal plans as they would endanger public health and welfare. So they have really to learn and manage their waste wisely and treatedly. Second is engineers shall act for each employer or client as a faithful agent or trustee. So the consumer pay the bills for the water. So it's very important for engineer and the company itself to use efficient pipes that more benefit to the consumer or the client. So if the company is not going to be responsible, uh, so engineers should notify the proper authority about that. So this is very important for the public welfare.
Engineering and science solutions that use wastewater treatment technology and agricultural irrigation technology. Wastewater treatment technology work to speed up the process of natural water purification. It has three stages, which is primary, secondary, and tertiary. At the primary stage, 60% of the total suspended solid are lost and 35% BOD dissolved impurities are removed. And at the secondary stage, more than 85% of the solid is suspended and the BOD disappear. The figure shows the process of the wastewater treatment technology. Agricultural irrigation technology can reduce critical water use. This technique can save water consumption and can prevent excess watering. This solution also can prevent the use of pesticides that contain chemical to prevent water pollution. Figure 4.2 shows the agricultural irrigation system. SDG address in this problem is SDG 3, good health and well-being. It is ensure health and well-being for all walks of life. Among the targets involved in water pollution are the target of declining infectious diseases and harmful chemical and pollution. It can use other congenital and other diseases as well as death. Water pollution not only harm the environment but also threaten human health. Next is SDG 6, clean water and sanitation. It is ensure the availability and the management of water and sanitation. There are 6 targets in this goal. Inadequate sanitation can lead to dangerous water pollution and large cost losses. Therefore, water pollution must be handled in a coordinated and integrated manner to ensure the provision of safe drinking water.
Okay, today I will present government policy. What is government policy? Government policy is a principle or rule for the better guides decisions, resulting in positive outcomes that can enhance the community and unit. There are 3 principles of government policy: water resources. First one, water resources security. Water resources must be safe to make sure that they meet the needs and demands of people and also nature by optimization of their potential and minimization of damaging effects. Second, water resources sustainability. Water resources are the catalyst for environmental well-being and national development. For future uses, federal, state governments and they will look at the minimizing waste resources. Okay, thirdly, collaborative governance. That stakeholder inclusiveness and collaboration is very important to make sure that they ensure the security and sustainability of water and also achievement of common goals into addressing multiple water resources governance concerns and also priorities.
So the policy framework that related to the cases, first is Environmental Quality Act 127, Section 25, which is restriction on pollution of inland waters, and the second one is Water Service Industry Act 2007, 2006, Section 37, which is explain the importance for the premise to have a license in order to prevent them to do pollution to the water.
As conclusion, in this world, the fresh water is just 3% of the Earth's water, and the remaining 97% of water consists of salt water. As in the case of Malaysia, surface water sources such as river basins are used to acquire water supplies for the state. People routine that settle around the affected area also get affected due to the water supply being cut during the river treatment. This can be justified by the case that happened on 4th October 2020. Almost 300,000 consumer accounts in the districts of Petaling Jaya, Hulu Langat, Kuala Langat and Sepang suffered unscheduled water supply disruptions as a result of the shutdown of the 2 treatment plants. In this goal, there are 6 targets, namely universal access to safe water, sanitation, improve water fronts, and reduce water pollution, increase water use efficiency in all sectors, integrated water resources and ecosystem involving protected water. Next is the water resources sustainability. We can conclude that water resources are the catalyst for environmental well-being and national development, so they must be sustained for present, future uses, federal, state governments, and they will look at minimizing wastage of water resources. Thank you.
So for the Q&A question, I will answer the question number 1, which is why professional ethics and value are important for the engineers. So this is because ethical value ensure the honest and guideline for integrity in their operation, so that the professional are able to do their work without external pressure or bias.
So that's all.
What can happen if you break ethics as an engineer? The answer is engineer with ethics can help the society in a better way. A person who is loyal can solve problems when they accuse his using his own skill. Sometimes he might break the moral laws. So, when they break the ethics, the engineer may be held personally and legally responsible for the cause that happened.
What is the role of ethic in engineering? Ethic can be applied to engineering in two broad ways, which is safety and honesty. The safety aspect is paramount as a single mistake could causes a damage. Honesty should be held up as a feature in any industry, but certainly in engineering.
The second line is some example of professional ethics. One of some examples of a professional ethics are be inclusive means that we welcome and support all people regardless their background and identities. Next is be considerate toward the decision we'll be making because it will involve all the members of organization and need to consider all parts. Lastly is be respectful. When others members have different opinion with us, we must reject in respectful way. That's all for me. Thank you.